Okay, folks, here we are the 13th of May, 2024. If I say 25, you know it's 24. And we're going to start it here at the Rowland Heights Community Coordinating Council. Rah! Where's the Manting crowd? I talked with Miss Cano coming for the situation.
Can you bring it up? Hear me better? Okay, great. Okay, the Rowland Heights Community Coordinating Council meeting, May general meeting called to order by Kevin Chen.
Please rise.
I'm going to have the flag salute here.
Please rise.
Okay.
Please right hand over your heart.
Okay.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please be seated. General announcement by Kerry Chen. In the month of May, we are going to have tonight. This is the last meeting for this first half of the year, which means the end of the June, the end of the fiscal year, and also end of the RHCCC for the term of this year. And I have an announcement. I have something to share with everyone. For this year, I'm not going to run for any positions in the board. I want to thank the community for your support in the past 2.5 years. I want to thank my board for your support. Get my job easier, and I hope you continue to support RHCCC. Thank you very much for the past year.
Thank you there.
Okay, and we have barbecue, the annual barbecue in June 29, and I've invited the barbecue committee. Do you have anything to report to the committee? Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Linda Ko, and I'm one of the 3 members on the barbecue committee. This year, we have scheduled the committee to be on June the 29th. It's a Saturday, and it will be at noon in this building, also outside in the courtyard. We are working very hard to try to secure the funding because it does cost, funds to have the barbecue, to invite all our members and also the community organizations to have tables. So we will keep you updated as to the status of the barbecue. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. And next, I'd like to invite the nomination committee for announcing the new board of the next year.
Good evening. My name is Denise Jackman, and I'm a member of the nominations committee for the RHCCC for 2024-2025. And I'm going to name off the slate of officers that we have so far, and if there's anybody here who'd be interested in serving on the vacancies, please just email us and let us know. President would be Yvette Romo. Vice President Programs will be myself, Denise Jackman. Vice President Membership is Maria Kramer. Treasurer is Linda Koo. The recording secretary is Wanda Ewing. And we're still looking for a VP for community improvement, corresponding secretary, and historian. So if you're interested, please let us know. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the two.
Sorry. I'd like to call for a motion, or I'd like to make a motion to accept this slate of officers. If there's a second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor by a raise of hands? If you're a voting member. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support again. Okay, let's move to the community report. And first, the community report is CHP. Officer Salazar.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Officer Salazar with CHP Santa Fe Springs. Couple quick updates for you guys. For the month of April, we saw 23 traffic collisions in total compared to March, which we had 42. So we saw a decrease of about 45% in traffic collisions in the Rowland Heights community. To date, we have, for the month of May, only one traffic collision. There are more, but those are only the ones that are completed, which in this case is one. And some news from our office. Currently, we have, we have 14 new officers currently on training. I've got 5 of them who will be getting off of training in the next week. The next 8 are getting off in about 2 months. We have another 8 that will be reporting to our office in about a week and a half, which is going to be boosting our patrol numbers, which is a benefit to us when doing our calls for service, as well as our proactive enforcement. The area did experience a impaired driver task force over last month, in which we made 38 arrests in the span of about 6 hours for DUI, whether alcohol, drugs, or a combination thereof. We also did conduct a DUI checkpoint in the South Whittier area a few days ago, and that yielded a couple arrests as well. So we're actively working to remove the impaired driver because we know the risk and the dangers to life with that. And that goes, kind of segues for us on our education and prevention side. We're really proud and happy to announce, if you may or may not have known, Rowland High School participated in our Every 15 Minutes program. The Every 15 Minute program is a DUI prevention program for our high school juniors and seniors, mainly focusing on our decisions and the consequences of our choices. Obviously that revolves around impaired driving, but what we end up having in this program is a mock DUI collision, working in partnership with the Walnut Sheriff Station, the school district, and a whole host of other members in the community, including the LA County Fire, Falk Ambulance. We're able to bring as close to the real thing of an experience for all of our students to see and to understand, especially during prom season, graduation season. So the California Patrol, as always, encourages everybody to make the right decision. What I tell all the students is DUI is preventable. We can end it as early as tomorrow if everybody believed in the impact it has. So we think all of you as community members actively engaged in your community, voicing your concerns, and being there to support our efforts, whether it's us, the Sheriff's Department, our elected officials, and everywhere in between. So if you have any questions, I'll be in the back. But other than that, that's it.
Can you answer
yes.
a quick question on guns? Can you handle a gun question?
Oh, I can try.
Good job.
I
Okay.
can try. I don't know. I'm gonna have
Because
to.
it has come out in the social media most recently, where, and here's the question, I'll set up the scenario. I'm driving down the road, I'm speeding, okay, whatever, so you pull me over, you're gonna write me a ticket for speeding. And when you do, you come up to my car, I got my hands on the wheel there, and I say, officer, I have a gun in my vehicle. Do you have the legal right to search my vehicle for that gun? Do you have the legal right to force me to show you that gun?
I'm gonna defer to my partner if you have a better answer than what I'm thinking in my head. So, if you identify that you have a weapon on your person or in
No,
your
I'm
vehicle,
not on the person, it's stored in the vehicle. We'll,
In the vehicle.
we'll make a scenario, it's in the trunk.
okay. So I can ask for just see if I really wanted to, if it's where it's supposed to be, because I can also inspect to see that you actually have it properly secured for the purpose of traveling from point A to point B. I don't think you're gonna get a great deal, especially if you're providing information to us willingly and everything like that. I like to tell folks, what kind of officer do you want, or deputy do you want? Do you want the officer or deputy that is going to make a decision off very little information? Or are you gonna want the officer or deputy who is gonna ask you questions and is gonna be thorough in what they do so that they can make a sound professional judgment call?
Well, we just want the straight up answer, because you either do or you don't. Let's say if I said it's in my trunk, or if I have a gun lock thing in my vehicle and it's secured to my chair or my field, and you can see it, do you have the legal right to make me open that up so you can see the weapon?
I don't know the exact answer off the top of my head. I
Thank
can't,
you.
to be honest with you.
Thank you.
The magazine and the gun have to be separate.
Yes.
So if you're telling the officer, I have a gun in my trunk and it's the way it's supposed to be, then he has, why would he search it?
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also have a question.
Yes.
I know that with USC and UCLA and all the stuff that's going on, a lot of the agencies are, over there.
Yes.
I was involved in a traffic accident and it took about an hour and a half for somebody to come and take a report. And normally if you exchange information, you can settle it that way, but unfortunately the other person was an unlicensed driver.
Correct.
And I kind of wanted that report because, you could go home and say she was somebody else. But it took an hour and a half for somebody to come, and I kept getting, they're all over there. They're all deployed over there to help with crowd control. So are they still patrolling the area here like they should be?
Yes, they are. In those specific situations, at the time, admittedly, yes, a lot of resources had to be directed and sent in that way due to what was occurring. So I will be completely honest and say that we lost about half of our office, which had to go over there to address that particular issue. Now, is that what's being deployed right now? No, that is not the case. You are seeing normal staffing levels that we've had for the past year, 2 years. That's what we are having right now. But again, if the situation dictates or necessitates a response like that, it will impact calls for service. Yes. Yes.
I called 911 today. I was routed to the highway patrol. The highway patrol decided it belonged at the sheriff's department, called them, and then they were on the line with me. If we're in this area and we need the quickest response, is it better if we just call the sheriff's station?
It'll depend on where you are. And say, for example, you are driving on a freeway or you're in close proximity.
I'm not driving in a house.
Oh, you're in a house and you got routed to the CHP?
Yeah.
That does happen. I can't tell you, I don't have an intimate knowledge of how the 911 system works, but it can at times, depending on where your location is, the call can be routed to CHP dispatch. Once you identify the location and what the issue is, then that dispatcher or operator will have to route it to the sheriff's department. If it is emergency, 911 is going to be your best answer because it is going to be the fastest way to route through to an actual operator or dispatcher. If it is a non-emergency and you're not sure and you would prefer to simply call directly to the sheriff's station, then you would go about calling via their non-emergency number or even CHP's non-emergency number. But the best advice I can give is if it's an emergency, call 911. The way it's routed, it will get to the right caller. Admittedly, it's not what we always think it's going to be in terms of how that call gets routed. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Salazar. Next, I'd like to invite the Warner Station, Sheriff Station, County Sheriff Claudia.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna try to keep this short because I want to show you some pictures of a residential burglary we had.
We have our summer team that just started. It's gonna be two deputies and one sergeant. That's Deputy Kill, Deputy Convento, and Sergeant Sung. They are going to be driving around Rowland Heights, just crime prevention. They don't get calls. They're just gonna be going to the places that are most common in crimes right now, which is a lot of the parking lots of the family restaurants, a lot of where our homeless are at. That's gonna be their job for approximately 9 weeks. We are gonna be participating in the Rowland Heights Senior Resource Fair. That's gonna be on May 23rd here at Pathfinder Park, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Last week we just did a search warrant with Narcotics Bureau, and it was marijuana grow house on Galatina that was brought to the attention of Narcotics Bureau by a resident. Once they started investigating this house, the house was stealing enough electricity to power 7 houses. So it was a pretty big one. We are going to be cleaning up with Public Works, and it's gonna be on Rio Seco Angelic, and this was again also brought to the attention of Public Works by a resident. So if you're sending these complaints to Public Works or wherever you need to send them, they are getting answered. And I wanted to show you some pictures.
An encampment, a homeless encampment where they leave their debris. No, it's just a lot that was brought to the attention of Public Works that has a bunch of debris from homeless people. So they go and they just clean all that up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we had a residential burglary in Rowland Heights where surveillance cameras were found on a bush facing the house. So these cameras, there's our first one. This camera was facing the front door of this residence. This camera was hidden, go to the next picture. The other. This camera was hidden in a bush. Let's see if I can show you the. So you see the arrows? You see around it, they put fake plants. And it was pointed towards the resident's house. Now, prior to their house getting broken into, there was another call about a month ago where across the street they had a hole cut in a bush and there was a camera facing that same house. Now, why are they pointing out that house? I don't know. But then we had Chino Hills incident, I don't know if anybody saw it on the news, where they found that rock, which is a camera, that was surrounded by clay to look like a rock. So neighboring cameras saw a guy on a scooter stop at a tree, dig up a little pile of dirt, place that article there, and then while the resident started doing his housekeeping of his lawn, he saw this little mound of dirt, thought it was strange, went to look at it, and it was a camera with a cordless power cord thing to give the batteries power. So with this being said, we need to really pay attention to our front lawns, because I know, like, I'm guilty of it, that my person that comes and does my lawn every week comes and does the grass, and that's it, I just walk away. I never look to see anything, because I feel I'm in my home, who's gonna come over here, but this person, I'm sure, didn't know that this camera, the other one, was in his front lawn. So, whenever you have the chance, look at your front lawn. If you happen to find cameras in your front lawn, in a bush, or anything like that, please call the Sheriff's Department, because our major crimes is picking up these cases. They're picking them up, they're investigating them, because obviously it is a bird crew. It's a group of people that are going and leaving these cameras so they could pretty much surveillance what time people leave to work, what time people are getting home, what they're bringing in, what they're taking out. So if you find them in your lawn, if you see them somewhere, please let us know. So we could recover them, we could book them into evidence, and we could let major crimes know. Okay, anybody have a question in regards to that?
There was, I guess they broke into a house and people were in it over north of Sheldon.
Yesterday?
Last week.
Last week, okay.
Yeah, and then somebody had video of the person, or photo, so I was assuming it was the Tesla, because it looked like a car.
Okay.
But is there any more information? How did they get in? Did somebody open the door?
I mean, most of the time they knock. I know we had a residential burglary today in the morning where somebody knocked at the front door, nobody answered, so they assumed nobody was home. They went to the back, broke in through a window, and when they reached the stairs, the resident was upstairs. He came out and he yelled at them, and then that's how they left. So a lot of times they knock and nobody answers, so they assume no one's home. It's north side of Pathfinder, or south side of Pathfinder. So these residential burglaries are occurring because people think that everybody's at work. With summer coming, people are gonna go on vacation, kids are getting out of school, people are gonna go leave for the weekend. Please let us know if you want vacation checks. Because the best thing is for your neighbors to be aware that you're not home, so that way they keep an eye on your house, or let us know so we can keep an eye on your house. Because summertime, everybody wants to go on vacation, and with every right. You know, you've been working, kids are in school, go to vacation. But just let us know so we do drive-bys by your homes and make sure that everything's still intact. And there's no vehicles in your driveway that are not supposed to be there. Anybody else, questions?
We have people coming down our street often on these bicycles, and they kind of sit around on corners and whatnot. We think that they're scouting out the area. Is there something specific that we should do or ask the sheriff's department when that's happening?
You could just call the station and report that somebody unknown is riding a bike and you think that they're scouting out the neighborhoods, and we'll just come talk to them, see where they're from, what they're doing there. Yes.
A very quick add-in, there are some people, I won't mention my name, that have alarm systems on their house. And I just had mine redone, so forth. But here's the bottom line: if you don't activate the thing when you're gone, you might as well not have it. You know what I'm saying? And as we say on the bus, cameras, cameras, cameras. Everybody in your neighborhood should have at least a ring, if not more cameras, all the way around for the coming in the back. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Do you recommend, so if you don't know someone at the door, like you don't answer, do you recommend engaging in a conversation through the locked door, like what do you want? Or
Yes.
You think
Yes.
that's better than pretending you're not?
Yes, because if they know you're home, they're more than likely gonna leave, because once they enter your home and you're there, it's a whole different crime.
So you just recommend saying what do you
Yeah,
want?
what do you want? My husband's here, or just yelling out, like if you're a female and you're home alone and you feel like you're scared to say, yell out somebody's name. Hey, John, like there's somebody at the door.
Gotcha.
Anything, just to make, so they know that you're home. Because as soon as they knock and they know you're not home, they see it as an opportunity to go in and do whatever they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would do that. Yell out anybody's name, get a bullhorn, put one at the door.
Lost it right there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, then next, I'd like to invite the supervisor to the police, deputy, Mr. Ryan.
Look at this. Ryan Serrano, you're looking really good today. Coat and tie.
Good evening,
What's going
everyone.
on, David?
My name is Ryan Serrano. I serve as Deputy District Director for Supervisor Hilda Solis. I just have a few items for you tonight. I know we did receive some questions related to street vending ordinance, what is allowable, what is not. So we did bring a frequently asked questions, but just to let you know, any iteration where there's an open flame will not be permissible. These issues can be reported to either the office directly, and we will route them to Public Health and the Department of Economic Opportunity. Hello? Yeah. But if you do have any additional questions, this is a really good, extensive packet, 4 pages, double printed, to save ink. And additionally, we do have an opportunity for the homeless incentive program. For those of you that are landlords and looking to help with the homeless initiative, really good information. Please do check that out. There's also some other information that's from previous meetings regarding the Greenway program, which is a homeownership program. Also take a look at that as well. And then finally, I did want to share this new grant opportunity, $500,000 to $2 million grants available. This is through the Department of Economic Opportunity. It's called the Commercial Acquisition Fund, and it's a really great program to look at some of the buildings that are in our neighborhood that need a little bit of tender love and care and could use a new home, so to speak, for an organization. I know the Women's Club.
I was just gonna ask you that.
Yes, so please do take a look at this. It's two parts. The first is the 24th. That is the qualifier, and then if you qualify, they would follow up to actually help you with the application process.
Okay, thank you.
And with that, I'll take any questions. Yes, ma'am.
Does the county still give the supervisors discretionary funds every year?
That's correct. Yes.
How much is that?
I believe that's $2 million.
And what exactly have you all been using?
So a host of things throughout the community. Those discretionary funds are utilized. For instance, we just had a meeting earlier today with the board regarding the barbecue. They made a request for funds to have that event, and much along those lines, other similar types of requests to make the order.
Is that the Buckboard Days parade also?
That's correct.
Anything new with the Buckboard Day?
Yes. So Supervisor Solis is happy to announce she would love to see the Buckboard Parade for its 53rd iteration. I've connected with David, and we're going to be getting those machinations in the works.
Because they're charging, the sheriff's department's charging them now for services,
I believe there was a charge last year, yes.
but they didn't before.
So I think there was a change as far as the way that CHP goes about providing resources towards those events, or towards parades in general. And so we had to reconfigure the way we provide the service for the street closing.
And those little county things that they have, Easter, whatever, parks, is that part of the discretionary fund?
So it can be sometimes when we augment to provide additional support to an event, but no, those funds are usually allocated to the Parks and Rec Department.
Yeah, the barbecue was nice.
Most definitely. A little odd.
Yeah.
Well, we've been happy to support every year that we've been in the district, so I believe Supervisor will be happy to support once again this year. Any additional questions? Yes, Roy.
Has the Board of Supervisors collectively and individually, as Hilda Solis, done anything since this last Tuesday's meeting regarding I'll call it the correcting of obstruction of the people's right to address the board, and as also noted by Dr. Genevieve Carrell on that, as well as myself, and it can be seen on my YouTube channel. People, if you want to see something outrageous, and it wasn't just me, because I am outrageous, I'll admit that. You want to see something when Dr. Genevieve Carrell, retired, gets on their case big time. They did something to us, the public, which is, in my humble opinion, and I'm researching it, a crime for which is charged under federal statutes. So have they done anything to alter that?
I'm not entirely sure about the incident you're talking about, Roy, but given the fact that government moves slow by design, I don't think so.
No, this is your boss on Tuesday. It's there, and you can go to my YouTube channel and see it. If you missed it, that is a tragedy.
I'd be happy to connect with you on the side here and discuss further. Yes, ma'am.
One more question. When the planning commission was here talking about oil this stuff, and I asked them, how come there's no community meeting anymore, like they did some years ago on a 700 and something unit apartment complex? That never happened because like hundreds of us showed up. And he said, they're not doing that anymore. But he didn't say what.
So the individuals were from the planning department, not from the commission, but yes, they did share that due to state laws that have come down from Sacramento to help expedite the process because of the great need for housing throughout the entire state, that they've done away with some of those additional public hearing meetings. But I will share, again, that's at the state level. I don't see a state representative in here, but I'd be happy to reach out to them to see if they can provide that answer. I do know that we did have a meeting with some of the folks from the Safe Oil Vista Open Space, and they had made a request for when they do have the public hearing, that there is a hybrid opportunity so people can come in to provide their public comment, and we're working with the park staff to have it here at the Rowland Heights Community Center.
Because it's not gonna be affordable, I mean, come on. They're not gonna have, 700 a month units. It's gonna be, anything two-story around here is $1 million.
I can't speak to the price point. I'm just letting you know that we're working to have an opportunity for folks to come here and provide that comment.
Well, I know so.
Yes, sir.
I would like to know, is the plant open homes on road still?
I believe there was a application received, but I think that's still through the process. There's nothing further yet. Any additional? Going once, going twice. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ryan. So next, Lawrence Law, the Park and Recreation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lawrence Law with the Los Angeles County Parks and Recreation. And I'd just like to share with you our upcoming events. It's actually a senior resource fair. It's next Thursday on May 23rd from 11 to 2 p.m. And we have invited 12 different vendors from county departments or local business to come in to share information regarding promoting healthcare, nutrition, benefits, safety, and transportation. And it's not just like the regular resource fair giving out information. We actually have all the vendors come up here and do 10 minutes presentation to share or to demo. So the time is between 11 to 2 p.m. from on May 23rd, next Thursday, here in this building. So we look forward to seeing everyone here. Thank you. It has been publicized within this park. We have flyers out, we have information shared with all CPOs, the co-partnership to send out this information of this event.
So communities will not know about this unless they come to this park?
We'll make sure to, in the future, we'll promote our events more widely and not just maybe send it to the RHCCC for you to forward it out to the members as well.
Social media.
And social medias too. Yes, we do got the social media account to promote parks event for the Rowland Heights High last month, so we'll start utilize that channel as well. Thank you very much for your suggestion.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. The next speaker, I'd invite the Public Health, County Public Health for the report.
Hi everyone, this is my first community meeting, so forgive me, I'm nervous. Crystal couldn't make it today, so my name is Jasmine Tang. I'm the new area administrator for the San Gabriel Valley area for the Community and Field Services Department. And I have a few updates here. Just some updates on what's going around. There was a recent measles exposure in LA County. It was at Universal Studios and some surrounding regions there. We followed up with all the contacts in this region. So far, no new cases have come up. But we do recommend that folks have their vaccine records readily available, keep your young children updated on the MMR vaccine and so on, and to look out for those symptoms, the white pox that may show up for measles. But again, that exposure at Universal Studios has not rendered cases in this region. Next, we have had some hepatitis A outbreaks in persons experiencing homelessness populations. So a reminder to have good hand hygiene and hygiene in general before you consume any food, drink water, or any other drinks. But there's that too, and to stay up to date as well on those vaccines. Next, summer is coming up, so it's the season of mosquito-borne diseases. To remind you all to reduce the amount of still water or eliminate still water around your houses, and to use any insecticides if you're going out in the dusk and nighttime during the summer. There's also a new community health profiles platform. It's a data platform that had just released April 24th. So this platform now has updated data from 2018 to 2023 for all communities in LA County. And it's a map-based platform, and you'll be able to pick any region you'd like, including Rowland Heights. So highly recommend you all, if you're interested in looking at the most recent community health data for the region, to look at that. And I can share the link to that platform with the organizers here. And that's it. So any questions?
Yes, I heard there was an update in TB tuberculosis. Is that just statewide or?
Lately, there's been an uptake as well, primarily in the San Diego Valley, Monterey Park region area. So, but we are, our team does follow up with all TB cases when they come up in the region. So.
Yeah. How much concern is it that there's a new variant of this COVID that's supposedly going to surge in the summertime? How much talk around that are you hearing or wanting to share with the public here?
Yeah, sure. So what I've been seeing is that there's this new region that they've deemed Fullerton. That's what they're calling it. That's the current dominant region that we're seeing right now. The good news is that it's showing that it's not more severe than previous variants, but it is becoming the dominant strain. So again, in terms of concern levels, since this variant hasn't shown to be having more severe outcomes, I think it would be about the same concern. But again, the department highly recommends folks stay up to date with their vaccines, and typically the COVID vaccine should be updated annually, so we should be seeing that soon. Any other questions? Thank you all for your first time.
Thank you. So the next, let's move to the federal level. I'd like to introduce you Lisa Sanchez, representing Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, Congress District 38. She is newly assigned to the area and served in the area.
Thank you, Mr. Chen, and thank you, RHCCC, for having me. So yes, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Yulissa Chavez. I'm here on behalf of Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, who represents Rowland Heights in our district. So I'm very excited to be able to help her in serving this community. And just as a reminder, our office is able to assist you with any federal services. That includes your Social Security, passports, USCIS. So again, our office is there to help you, and I'm excited to be part of the Rowland Heights community to help the Congresswoman serve all of your residents. So thank you. Yes, so we were in Norwalk and now we're in Lanier.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. So next, the list is Bob Archuleta, Senator Archuleta's office. Mr. Kyle Miller is Kyle here. Mr. Kyle is here. This is good. The next. Josh Newman, Senator Josh Newman's office. Nathan Bass. Let's move to Assemblywoman Linda Lisa Calverin's office. Mr. Carl. Mr. Cano also the assignment to this area.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stephen Coronel. I'm field representative for Lisa Calderon. I just joined the team 4 weeks ago, and this is my first community meeting. So right now, well, a little bit about myself. I am from the area. I'm from the nearby city of Malden, and I'm really familiar with Rowland Heights. And I graduated from Cal Poly in 2020, so I'm happy to be here. So just a small legislative update. Many of the Assemblywoman's bills are in suspense, and they're coming out of appropriations, but our deadline is on Thursday, so I don't have an exact status for bills, whether it's going to die or not, or proceed to appropriations. But I'll have a better answer for you guys come Thursday. So if you have any legislative questions, I'll be glad to take them after, and I could give you my business card and be in contact afterwards. As for community events, the Assemblywoman is promoting Teacher Appreciation Month. So our team has just recently released a nomination for the State Teacher of the Year for each school district that resides in our district. So we've informed all the superintendents to provide us a nominee within their district. And that deadline is on Thursday, May 16th. So if you have any suggestions for superintendents on a teacher that you would like to nominate, we encourage you guys to reach out to them so that teacher may get the recognition they deserve. Are there any questions I can take? Once, twice. Thank you.
Okay, let's move to the school district, Rowland Unified School District, Dr. Kevin Hayakawa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chen. Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Hayakawa. I'm a school board member for Rowland Unified School District. Kind of on the note of Employees of the Year, we also as a district did recognize our classified, certificated, and administrators of the year who made Rowland Unified School District such a special place. So each of our school sites selects and recognizes their Employees of the Year, and we just want to congratulate all of these very, very hardworking and deserving employees. In particular, we would like to congratulate our 2024-2025 District Employees of the Year, starting off with our Teacher of the Year from Telesis Academy, Teacher Paula Stella Martinez. Our District Classified Employee of the Year is Blandford Elementary's own Library Assistant Vicki Schaefer, and then the District Administrator of the Year is Dr. Kevin Despard, the Director of Human Resources. Check out our social media because each week a video about each one of our honorees is going to be released, and that can be found both on the district's website as well as our YouTube channel. So two other announcements, one for Oswald Academy, and then the second will be about our graduations. So, the much anticipated Oswald Academy, our ribbon cutting ceremony and community celebration. We are so excited to invite our community to the latest beautiful new modernized school campus. That's really thanks to the community for their support for Bond Measure R. The ribbon cutting ceremony and community open house for Stanley G. Oswald Academy is this upcoming Wednesday, May 15th at 5:00 p.m. at Oswald Academy over in Walnut. It is also the school's 40th anniversary, so they're getting a brand new school as their 40th birthday present. There will be light refreshments, a student performance, and campus tours led by student leadership. And then our third and final announcement for tonight is about our high school's graduations and adult school. So the countdown to graduation has begun, and our USD is looking forward to celebrating our class of 2024 graduates. The district will be featuring 150 of our graduates from Nogales, Rowland, and Santana High Schools on those lovely light pole banners around our community. The banners will feature a picture of the graduate, their name, and the name of the college or military division that they will be headed to just days before graduation. So be on the lookout for these wonderful RUSD stars. In the next several weeks, we'll be spotlighting many of our seniors, and we wish all of our graduates success, and we are so proud of their accomplishments. I just learned the other week that, yes, after graduation season is over, our very own Gina Ward drives to downtown LA to pick up each of the banners, we clean them, and then we deliver them and let the graduates keep them after their display around the community. In terms of their ceremonies, Santana High School's graduation will take place on Wednesday, June 5th at 5:00 p.m. at the RUSD Performing Arts Center located on the Rowland High School campus. And then Nogales High School and and Rowland High School will hold their graduations at their respective campuses, their football stadiums, on Thursday, June 6th at 5 p.m. All graduations will also be live streamed for our families and community to celebrate. With that, I'm happy to take any questions you may have. Yes, Roy.
Okay, according to EdSource, and for people that don't know, that's a printed source, has a lot of studies on education in the state of California, and according to multiple print sources, news in and around California, the San Francisco Bee, or Sacramento Bee, excuse me, that still after, and I've been kind of associated with the district for about 35 years, that still the core people, they're coming out, you can see the headlines. It says, they can't read, third, fourth, fifth, they can't read, they can't do that, and it precipitates on them. And this has been going on with 35 years. Do you see anything other than, we had a PhD who said, guess what, and we got to exclude the Asians. Asians are in a whole different academic world, you have to exclude them totally. Okay, but with all of the changes, we got this another teaching, this other learning thing that the state of California Department of Education has done for decades, and essentially, we've gotten the same results. So can we not just accept it? And as the man said, it's culture, stupid. If you know, they're going to do what they're going to do, and you've already shown that whatever you do, essentially things don't change.
Thank you for your comment, Roy. We just had a board study session last month analyzing test results from our STAR reading, STAR math, as well as data from the first semester, so fall semester last year. Super happy to report that we increased in nearly every metric. Our second to sixth graders are flourishing and they improved over their 2022 math and reading scores. Our middle schoolers and high schoolers, grades 7 through 12. Their pass rates for their core courses, so science, math, English, and history, was higher than it was the previous year. We're really coming out of the pandemic. I think we're moving in a great direction in RUSD. The state is always going to choose some sort of demarcation between proficient, not proficient, and excelling, and there's always going to be students that fall into each of those categories. But what we're focused on is in RUSD is allocating resources to help our students that are the most vulnerable, get them up to grade level. We have interventions now, extra opportunities for students to come in over winter break, over spring break, over the summer to catch up on anything they're falling behind. And the parents are really invested in this as well. They're students are willing to give up their breaks. Parents are transporting their kids to schools. I couldn't be more proud of our district and direction that we're heading. Yes, sir.
Talk about being proud. Jerry Heinzel, didn't you go to high school in the state?
I did, yes.
You did. You played soccer on the hill here too, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I used to coach you.
Yes.
Just to be proud of what we've raised here in Rowland Heights. Classic example right there.
Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Kevin. Next, Mamsa, Dr. is not here. So let's move to ACE. Yeah, Fullerton Road separate, brief separation. Speaker is Maria. Yeah.
evening, everyone. My name is Maria Cano. I'm from the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments, Community Relations Representative for the Fullerton Road Bridge Separation Project. If you've been in the area, you've probably have seen less of the overall project, but we're going to start, and I typically come out here and show you more of a visual of what's there because it is an immense project and it's probably easier this way to show you areas of what's being completed. We're happy to report we're at 75% completion with the target date for opening in spring 2025. We're now going to be focusing primarily on the underpass, but over the last probably time that I was here, we had talked about the improvements, both North Fullerton as well as on the Union Pacific right-of-way. And if we can move down, Carrie, of the presentation, I'll go ahead and show you because it's really quite an, this is the overall project. I always bring it because it really gives you a perspective of kind of where we're headed and what we intend to turn over to you all, the community, a city of industry, and what that end result will look like. So it's always kind of good to keep that in mind as we show you the progress. Go ahead. This is a view looking north from Fullerton, Gale. Next one. Keep going down. This is basically you're looking at, and I always like to give that recap because this is a two-bridge. We typically have done single bridge projects. Two bridge are always a little bit more complex. You're looking at a much broader geography. Union Pacific Railroad will be on its own bridge, as well as Railroad Street on its own bridge going north and east and west. And there you have, this is a south, this is a northbound looking south. That little box in the corner is where we're at in terms of completion, but it also gives you a sense of the investment of dollars within the community. And while it's not just focused on what's superficially above ground, you're looking at infrastructure, utilities, overall land acquisition. This is all inclusive of all of that investments of tax dollars at federal, state, and local levels. Now we get to the completion photos. These are the areas that I was talking about. Mind you, and it came up a while back. We are allowed to do aerials on a limited, with very strict and limited access because of the proximity to the tracks. And so please, I do not encourage the person that actually does this for us is licensed and trained on this very, very specific and technical process. What you are looking at here is the completion of that corner property. And by completion, I mean typically in these projects we have the agreements with local businesses to impact, but also compensate for that impact. That's what used to be the old Jack in the Box, and that property's been turned over to the property owner. What you see there is a semi-completed pathway will be the pedestrian pathway. The pedestrian bridge has not been installed yet, so maybe the next time I come, we'll have a better sense, and we'll have a picture of that pedestrian bridge. It'll go up against the top of that wall, and it'll fall into those that path, and with access to those steps. And there's going to be one in each side that'll lead to that pedestrian bridge. Go ahead. This is a completed, the completed southwest corner of the Puente Plaza. That was also one of those other agreements that we have with the property owner. They have since finished the work that they planned along both restoration, landscape, and such, and it's been turned over to the property owner. It does change as you look at the old photos. You're now looking at elevations that are quite drastic, but it also gives an opportunity for property owners to further invest once we've restored the parts of the property that were taken over. It also gives them an opportunity to further invest in their properties, and that's what's actually happening here. Landowner is looking to do several improvements within that area. Next. A big part of the North Point is a collaboration with City of Industry to do some street improvements along North Fullerton all the way to almost as close as Valley. But this is the intersection that was part of this project, which is Rowland San Jose and Fullerton Road. The work at the corner of the FedEx has also been completed. And so now what you see is the finished product waiting for striping. And really it's waiting on the City of Industry's portion, at which time we're going to be completing our end of the striping, and those cones will come out, and now you'll see a flow of traffic. The industrial traffic that's typically used that road on a regular basis. But that is now, as far as the actual road widening is concerned, all those specs are in, and this would be short of the striping. What you are looking at is now the finished product. Now this is not the finished product, but this is now where we're headed. If you notice, that corner property there is Lee and Row. That was also part of that set of agreements. They now have a designated set side road, and that will lead right into their property, because Railroad Street, will not have access to Fullerton Road. It will only go east and west. But that particular property was redesigned to include access onto Railroad as well as Fullerton Road. And so that's why you see that dedicated road. But now you're looking at what will be the next focus of the project and the remaining period of its construction, which will be digging up that underpass, which in the following photos you'll see. We've already begun on the south side, a little bit on that corner with Lee and Row, but now we start digging. The street north of that point has already been widened and resurfaced. That part is completed, so now we're literally edging over to the middle of that underpass where we start digging 25 to 30 feet under. The other big component is the improvements to the main line of the Union Pacific track. Now, what you see on the right, is what we've come around and mentioned is a shoe fly. That is a temporary track. The one on the left is now a permanent track, and the next step is what we call a crossover that we'll be doing to transfer the train back to its main line, because the work on that main line is done, and now we can build the bridge underneath. So that was all for the purpose of reinforcing the bridge for the railroad alone. And now that it's done, it typically, once they return the train to their main track, we leave that shoe fly for about a month, because they have to wait for about a month, 40 days to settle, just in case there's anything wrong with it. And then they'll be able to, now they come back and take out that shoe fly. So no, I did have a question that, from a constituent that asked whether we were building the four track, and no, that's a temporary shoe fly which will come out. But obviously we haven't returned to the main line, but after that we wait about a month and a half, and it goes back to that shoe fly is taken out. And UP does that work. We don't touch their lines. Next. This is some of that work again, and just to show you, it's not a straight path. You have to work with angles, and it's very delicate, very precise. Engineering and safety is involved at all stages of this, because we're not only talking about very complex plans, but we also keep our main motto is safety first, and that's big here because we're dealing with a very wide area that at times, and unfortunately it is the case because we have tracks and tracks of geography in this area. You have pedestrians, you have people that are not supposed to be in the tracks, so you have to maintain a very safe, literally a safe environment for about a mile in each direction, and you have to have a UP person flagging that area for safety purposes while we're building the permanent track. But that's just to show you kind of some of the complexities of it, but that is laid out for its permanent main track. Now you're looking at what that, it's a pretty, I mean, keep in mind area, but it is a pretty lengthy track. It took UP about 5 months just to lay out their main track. And while they're doing that, we can't perform any work around them. because any disruption or any distraction to the train is considered an incident that could lead to much more serious circumstances, so we are to stay away from any work associated with, in any proximity to these, as these main tracks are being laid down. Next. And this is what I was referring to. This is where we'll be focused for the rest of the period of this project. You start seeing the underpass starting to take form, no different than what we were doing with Fairway. Again, but this is a little bit deeper, and it's the length of the elevations as we're going down are longer because of the two-bridge expansion. That's from a higher up level. That's a train on the chute fly. It'll be moving towards the main track closer to Gale. And that's just another view of, and you don't see it because it's not as evident, but these are about 3 miles of what we call T-walls that support the weight and of that track. So this is kind of, they literally were digging these T-walls. They're walls with a little T that reinforce the support on the side of the tracks on each side. And that's what you're seeing. That's what those sort of looks like a little wall. That's a T-wall that's reinforced to make sure to keep that first bridge in place. Wow, and then it'll stay in place. It's a permanent fixture, but it's going to allow us to also create a more firm environment for the tracks long term. So when you're looking at these kinds of projects, you obviously build into current standards. You're building to current safety. You're also building for them to have a longer lifespan. And this is just a little last clip to show you where we're starting to dig on the north side for so that we can start building the railroad street bridge. That's where we'll start edging into the dirt to start creating that pit for that next bridge. And that street will remain closed while we do that because we have cul-de-sac the two ends to be able to build in between. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave some fact sheets, just general. It has obviously, other than the date, nothing much has changed. Yes.
So how many more years will we have to wait for?
As I mentioned at the beginning, 2025 spring, 2025.
What did you say?
Union Pacific.
Oh.
Yes.
How high is the necessary clearance of this? And as I understand it now, this is a bridge, pedestrian bridge going over the top of the tracks, across. What is the clearance, the height clearance from the track level? How far are we?
The bridge itself, the pedestrian bridge, will be at the same level as the track.
Really?
It literally will sit at the edge of the top portion of that bridge. If you look at the first elevations, it shows you the footing of the pedestrian path sits about the same footing as the tracks. But it's like an arch, and the other side it's all metal, so it's protecting anyone from going anywhere near the tracks at that point. And so the train's here, and the pedestrian bridge is right here. But obviously there's a distance, but it's literally about the same height. It's also the highest point from where that bridge is to the bottom of the center point.
So you're not going over, you're going
No. The bridge is going across Fullerton. East. It's going east-west.
East?
Yeah, so the bridge will go under, the underpass will go here, the bridge will go under, connecting the north and south of the, so you're not gonna have a crosswalk on the street, you're gonna just go over that bridge.
That's why I'm trying to get that you're gonna have a way of obstructing that so pedestrians go across safely and then.
The bridge is to go over Fullerton. It's not going over the tracks.
The train goes over the side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see a picture of it.
Yeah, I'll show you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
It's parallel to the tracks.
Yeah.
Parallel to the track, so how do you get to the other side of the tracks? That's the big question. The north.
It's called an underpass.
Underpass, that's
Yes.
all I was looking for, the underpass. Thank you.
And there'll be pedestrian access underneath as well.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Thank you all. It's always lovely to see everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you all of the community speakers. And let's conclude the community speaker session, and let's go to the speaker tonight. And I'd invite the County Public Works, Mr. Yan, and he will share with us the Works app on the available on the cell phone.
Hello everyone. For those of you who doesn't know me, my name is James Yang. I'm with Los Angeles County Department of Public Works. I'm here to talk about one of the county apps, the Works. Many of you may be familiar with this app already. If you're not familiar, the Works app allows you to request county services through the app. You can download it from either Apple App Store, or Google Play Store. And we recently updated. We have Works for many years now, but we recently updated and made it more user friendly. So once you log into the app, it will display most frequent requested services. For now, the most frequent requested services are PPE and vehicle update. So that's what's up on my screen when I open the app. But if PPE and vehicle update is not the service you're looking for, you can also click on see all services. And under all services, you can request PPE, vehicle dumping, things related to road and bike paths, such as if there's a pothole on the roadway, if there's a traffic malfunctioning, you can request all of that. And you can also request services with regard to our flood maintenance channels. If you see vehicle dumping inside of a channel, if there's a traffic debris in there that needs cleaned out, you can request from this app. And if you see any junk debris or tall weeds on private property, if you would like to report it to come for investigation, you can do that, do so through the app. And some of the other services you can report is like a homeless encampment you see on public roads or on private property, you can report it through the app. And if you're in a park and you see a restroom that was unclean, or if there's some facility having some maintenance attention, you can also report it through the app. And some other things like sidewalk bending, cannabis, water wasting is another thing you could request, but most of the water wasting is under the local water district. County does not operate many water districts, but we do have a few. So if you do report water wasting through the app, many times we'll redirect you to the local water district to report that. And you can also report retail food operation that will get forwarded to public health annually, such as if you're in a restaurant, you see something like you think it's a violation of like a food also such. And if you see a swimming pool that needs some attention, if you see a green pool or such, you can report that through the app. And the app is geo-friendly. But what it means is basically you will know where you're standing, right? You request it, you open it up, and the first thing is it asks you what you would like to report, you pick a topic. If you don't know, it's not the topic, because we can't cover every topic. So if you think, if you don't see a topic that you would like to report, just pick something close to it. Like if it's within road right away, just pick road and take it. Because there will be some human behind it. Once we receive it, it's not everything's automatic. So if something comes in, it wasn't in the right category, we'll make sure it gets to the right person to handle. So you pick a category, then it goes to a map. You can either type in the address, or you can just scroll it to the location you're interested and then pick that and then go ahead. You can either take a picture or not take a picture. You can just fill out the description, what would you like to report, and then click send. And that's all it is. And once we receive it, one of the county staff will look at it and make sure it's within your responsibility. If it's not within your responsibility, we'll make sure you get to somebody else that appropriate staff who can handle that. And the email will come back to you indicating how that service was handled. Either it was forwarded, or it was, let's say, if you report illegal dumping, most likely when it comes back, we just say, we have to send our crew to pick it up. And that will be the end of it, and the status will be closed. You can check on status that way. So everything report, there will be ticket number, and there will be status associated with it, and it will be from review and to close. Most time we close it is when it's forwarded. Let's say something simple like just like the illegal dumping, then we pick it up, we'll say close because we pick it up. But something like if you're requesting speed humps, if you're requesting a new traffic signal to be installed, or a new stop sign to be installed, that takes months and months of investigation. So what we'll do is we'll connect you with one of our traffic investigators. The app will say close, but the app will say, you were requested before to a traffic investigator for additional question or follow-up, please contact so with the phone number. And then the app itself will close the case, but the traffic investigator will contact you to follow up, or you can contact them to follow up on the status. So that's pretty much it. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
I don't know if you're from around here, but if there's a closed, used to be a private commercial golf course, Royal Vista off of Colima.
Yeah.
And it's just basically going back to Mother Nature right now. They're not maintaining anything, and the whole front is not fenced off. And I know there's water features. I don't know if there's like more than one lake keeping. And I'm afraid like little kids are gonna start exploring.
I don't think it. So it's
beyond fairway.
Yeah, I know it. I'm
Yeah.
living there.
And then two of those poles hold the nets. On Colima, it's like this, and then on Fairway, it's worse. They're falling over. So it's basically, they just shut down, but they're redoing the clubhouse somehow. I don't know why.
I'm not sure, but I'll
But
look into it.
it's like it's what do we call that when you have something open, but you're gonna be doing something with it, but it's creating a dangerous condition, like for children, for kids. Anybody can walk in there. There's no, across the front, there's nothing there in the parking lot to talk to.
I'll have somebody look into it, see if there's any violation. So basically, the poles that are holding the nets here, yourself
Yeah,
is
there's
leaning,
one Colima,
and
and then
also.
Fairway, it's off the Fairway, but you can see it going by Fairway. And then there's houses along, residents are starting to complain, because, the buddies are gonna take over, who knows what's gonna happen? But,
You can always have them, pass all these postcards to your neighbors and have them just send it to the app, take a picture of what their concern is, and just send it to the app, and one of the county staff will investigate it.
Because even if someone's doing a smaller commercial lot, now they make you put that green screen at the fence, that has nothing, it's just wide open.
Yeah, I don't think there's any active construction,
No,
usually
but
when there's active construction.
It's enticing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have somebody look at it, see if there's any violations, and if there is, we'll work with the property owner to correct it.
There's several of them.
James, look into that and share with us whatever you found, and we'll share it with the community.
Okay.
The weeds are over knee deep there, and there's pollen in the air. A lot of our neighbors are having problems, asthma problems. They have not done anything to that property since they closed it February 29th.
I'll have somebody, I think there's two property owners there, but I'm assuming it's on both.
I took pictures before before I left my house today, in case you wanted to see.
You can put it in the app. Yeah, you can use something app, or you can, I can follow up with you afterwards.
There's several owners, but they made themselves into two groups.
Yes.
And what industrious young gentleman has built his own little house shed place on that property also? Just
Really?
within the last week or so.
Well, that property is so vast. I mean, if you know it, you take a picture and either you send us to the app, or I'll give you my phone number and you can text it to me.
It's right on Colima, everybody sees it.
Everybody sees it? Okay.
I just want to add a little personal thing to that. I have to have surgery in my eye, and pollen is just driving me crazy. And it's so my eyes red, swollen, and itchy, and it's making it worse. I can't have surgery for at least a month, so I can put up with that.
I'll definitely have our property rehab take a look at it, see if there are any violations. If there is, we'll work with the property.
Denise has a question.
Yes,
Hi,
Denise.
James.
Hey.
A lot of these people's concerns are about private property. Is there anything that we can do to get private property looked at? Because I know that there's some serious issues with some houses in the neighborhood that are a real burden, as well as the Royal Vista property that they're all referring to.
Oh, definitely. I mean, through the app, I indicate if there's any violation on private property, you see it's a concern, report it through the app, and property rehab or another county department. It may not all be under my department, which is the Department of Public Works, because we are with the building department. So if there's any structure, electrical, plumbing, that's another. We have a property rehab, so if the property is not well maintained, such as the front yard grass is like knee high, and if there's a lot of junk and debris on the front yard, we can look at it. We can work with the property owner.
So the works is for both private and public property?
Private and public, and it doesn't include just our department, because if there's only violation, they will get violated with regional planning, and regional planning will take a look at. So it's multi-department and also private public.
So all of you Royal Vista people, that's where you go. Workers.
Yeah. The key
Unfortunately,
takeaway,
the owner left, so he can't hear the complaints, but our group has been getting a lot of complaints about the neglect of the golf course, and the weeds are this high. So it's a real concern from everyone in this community that those weeds will dry out and become a severe fire hazard as the summer goes on, because they removed all of the irrigation. So there's no water.
I'll definitely have somebody take a look at it, and I'm not sure if it is violation, if it's not, but if it is violation, we'll definitely work with the property owner and get it corrected. Yes.
Hey, James, what would you expect would be your response time to the initial request for action?
Depends. So if it's like a property violation, it could take a while, because sometimes depends on the nature of the violation. Our inspector may not feel safe to go onto the private property by himself, so they have to coordinate with the sheriff, and they go out as a team to go out and investigate. And sometimes that could take a couple weeks to schedule it out. If it's something simple, let's say if you report illegal dumping, I would say within between 24 to 72 hours, we should let you know what we did with it. Most of the simple things we try to respond within 24 hours, but staff sometimes get busy, so I would say up to 72. But we try to aim to get it done within 24 hours. Graffiti is one thing that we act on really quickly. As soon as we get it, our contractor usually are out here next day to get it cleared, to paint it over, I would say. And so it all depends. We aim for between 24 to 72 hours. But I would say if you see a true emergency, like if you see a tree down, blocking a road, a vehicle could hit it, don't report to the app. Call us, right? We have a 24/7 operator that's standing by, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. For these kind of emergency calls, same as if you see something in the park that needs immediate attention. I saw something came to the app, saw something was walking on a trail, right, over the weekend, they saw a branch hanging over the trail that's already broken, and it's hanging, it could fall any minute now, and they reported to the app. I'm like, for these things, please call the park department or whoever maintains the trail, call somebody or call 911. You know, to make sure it gets routed to the correct person and immediately they can respond. Because for something like a tree that blocks the roadway, even if it's middle of the night, we'll send a crew out. You know, pick that tree, remove it from the driveway. Because we don't want a vehicle hitting it and causing an accident, or something gets into a bodily harm.
Okay, there's 911 is not the, this is not the life threatening issue. Is it 511?
Tree falling is definitely. 511, no, 211 is a county hotline for, yeah.
Call 211, will that reach you?
You will. I mean, 211 will route. 211 is a county number, and they will route it to all county departments.
Is the phone number easily accessible on the Works app too?
Phone number 211?
No, I mean like, so if I was to open up the Works app and I'm like, you know what, I remember James told me that if I should probably report this directly. Was there a phone number? Like
No, that's something we need to work out. No, we have phone number for all the, unfortunately, we have phone number for all the cities because it's geo-based, so if you're a city, you would know it's not in the jurisdiction, we'll tell you that it's in the city, so you should contact the city. It provides you with a phone number. Unfortunately, we don't have a phone number for all the departments, but if you want to jot down this number for our department, because even if you call us, if it's not us, we'll give you the correct number for the other county departments. So our number is 1-800-675-4357. That's 1-800-675-4357.
That's something else.
Oh, that's something? Okay.
You contact us.
Oh yeah, that's for feedback. Yeah, you won't reach me. I will reach the operator. Yeah, because I'm not available 24/7.
James, my arm's about to fall off here. If you could give me a break. Just for the note, and you can see it on my YouTube channel, the county graffiti paint-out crew is pathetic. And you can go to Walgreens, any number of the commercial outfits to call in to get their stuff taken. And it's called see-through. They go in there, paint over whatever they do with it, and it dries, you can see right through it. And it's on my YouTube channel. And by the way, the Buzz people are going to do a paint out or a paint over at our McDonald's off of Fairway there and illustrate exactly what we're talking about. So thank you very much, and I'm sorry folks, but I gotta go. Bye now.